Okay, let's talk about stomach ulcers. These are primarily peptic ulcers. So the way you remember where are peptic ulcers found, think of pepsin, right? Pepsin is found in the stomach, so peptic ulcers are stomach ulcers, okay? Now they can occur when there's an erosion or break in the mucosal lining of the esophagus, of the stomach, and the duodenum. But the most common place to find them is going to be in the stomach. Okay. Peptic ulcers occur equally in both men and women, and they're common between the ages of 55 and 65. Now remember, esophagus, stomach, lots of hydrochloric acid. So we need these mucosal cells in here. These are mucus cells to produce this heavy coating. We want this thick lining, this protection in the stomach. And that's how the stomach doesn't digest itself, right? It needs the mucus. And this is the problem when people use aspirin. We know that too much aspirin can cause what? Ulcers and bleeding of the stomach. And that's because aspirin blocks prostaglandins. Prostaglandins. Prostaglandins are things that are naturally produced, and prostaglandins can do a lot of things. Prostaglandins are involved in raising your body temperature, right? It can raise your body temperature. Prostaglandins are involved with the smooth muscle contraction of the uterus during that time of month of menstruation. Prostaglandins also produce mucus. So when a woman takes an aspirin during that time of month, the muscle cramps go down. If you take an aspirin when you have a fever, your temperature goes down. If you take an aspirin, guess what happens to the amount of mucus protection in the stomach? That too goes down. And now, if you have too little mucus and you have too much hydrochloric acid, guess who wins that battle? The hydrochloric acid, and it burns a hole in the stomach, and you get a peptic ulcer. So the peptic ulcer occurs when the secretion of the hydrochloric acid and pepsin in the stomach are greater than the secretion of the mucus. And that's when you get an ulcer. All right. So many factors cause the secretion of hydrochloric acid and pepsin to increase, and they directly damage the lining of the stomach. So factors that can stimulate the stomach to produce more hydrochloric acid and pepsin: smoking, alcohol, consumption of caffeine, stress, right? In a hospital in my town, I can go outside I can drive by at any time, and right outside the doors, I'll see lots of white lab coats. They got a cigarette in one hand, coffee in the other, and you know they're under lots of stress. So this is why many of them are on antacids. Okay, when we come back, we'll talk about the brain gut connection.